Sway.
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 In the morning.
In the morning.
In the morning.
Shake it.
Wake your punk ass up. That crust out, y'all.
They can put the chains on your body. Never let them put the chains on your mind.
You ain't never seen a fighter like me before.
You here to keep this family going.
Keep moving north and don't ever look back.
Tell me your name.
I'm Kunta Kinte.
Sway in the morning, Shade 4-5. That was a clip from one of the most impactful, powerful miniseries that we have yet to see. I think we've seen the original version and know how that impacted the Earth, the planet, and the consciousness of people all around about America and its history, but not just America, the history of the world, really, when it comes to involuntary servitude or slavery.
Yep.
This has been something that's been in the DNA of our existence since day one. And I remember back in the 70s because I was here in the 70s, and I'm proud to say it, and I got a chance to watch as a youth this Alex Haley's story of his family that came over from the continent of Africa and the trials and tribulations that they faced, trying to keep their humanity, trying to preserve their culture, trying to preserve their legacy, and trying to keep their pride. And it was an American miniseries called Roots that came out in 1976, based off the novel that was written by Alex Haley. Well, they're redoing it, but differently now. And it's going to be airing at 9 p.m. Monday, May 30th. And we got one of the directors that is here with us. That's going to be Memorial Day weekend. And this dude, you know, it's not his first time to the show. He didn't remember, man. This dude goes to a lot of shows, I'm sure, man. He man, I'm not sure if we made an impact on him, but he definitely made an impact on us. You know, the one and only legendary Mario Van Peebles is here, ladies and gentlemen.
Dude, thank you, brother.
How you been, man?
I am good, man. But you know, actually, I did remember my son, Mandela, was saying, no, we did this show.
Yeah.
And because we came up here and talked to you before, and he was remembering it.
Yeah,
so
we are the party, was it?
We the party.
We the party. We the party.
We the party.
Back in 2012.
That was in 2012, dude.
Was it 2012?
2012.
Man,
That was 4 years ago.
Yeah.
So we haven't had y'all by in 4 years.
I know.
You know what that means?
What?
That the only time they come by is when they got something to promote.
Oh, so we should come when we have nothing to promote.
The only time they invite us.
Oh!
Look at this one, yo.
That's your son, man. He definitely grew up in the business. And he comes from a rich royal legacy and blood lineage he does, man. They between your grandfather, your father, and yourself, man, there's been a lot of women, I'm sure, that have just...
Oh, my gosh, Sway.
You count the numbers?
They just gonna laugh that one off.
Oh, man.
Yeah, man. Van Peebles, man. They like what's the dude name over in Europe? The one that conquered Genghis Khan. Yeah. They got their bloodline everywhere. I'm joking, man. Mario, let me ask you this, man. This is this is more than just a project for you, right?
Dude, so it's like I said, for some folks, it's a job. For us, it's our story. It's not his story. It's our history.
Yeah.
It's not their history. It's our history. And it's so big, you know. So I was working with LeVar Burton, who played Roots the first time, and Mark Walper, who's the producer. And so basically how it goes.
Wait, who's the producer?
Mark Walper is one of the producers. Will Packer is one of the producers.
I love Mark. I love Mark.
Mark, his dad produced the original.
Oh, okay.
So it's a lot of lineage in this.
Okay.
So the first night one is directed by Philip Noyce. Then I direct night 2. Thomas Carter does night 3. And Bruce Beresford does night 4.
Okay.
And Forrest Whitaker plays Fiddler. Lawrence Fishburne plays Alex Haley. And this young brother came in and put an audition tape to play the role of Noah for night 2, my night. This knucklehead right here.
Yeah.
And he tell him what you did, son.
Okay, I'm going to give you a little contect so it doesn't come out.
Okay.
I was working on a film with Nicolas Cage over summer, and that was a huge monumental thing for me. And having just time alone with him, picking his brain, and asking him why he chose to drop Coppola, his actual last name, and pick up Cage. And hearing his reasonings for that kind of inspired me to see how far can I actually get is this me or is this Pops and Grandpa? Is this some nepotism or can I actually book something? So I found out he was going to direct one of the episodes of Roots. I decided I wanted to record myself on tape for one of the roles. He said I was too old for Noah. So
Your dad said that?
I'm too old.
What the?
Me? So I shave my face. I'm like, okay, I got to do this. I send it in. All right, you can take it from here.
So he sent it in. Basically, it narrowed down to 15 guys, then 5 guys, then 3 guys, and he wound up getting the role, and they didn't know his last name.
Yeah, I sent it in under my middle name.
His middle name. So he's like, dude, Dad, if I suck, I don't want to embarrass you.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
and so he got it on his own thing. So I didn't even know. And then the call came that we like this kid. His middle name is Mali. So they said, we like brother Mali, but does the poor boy have a last name? So then I realized that I'm going to be directing my son as Noah, and he's got some really tough stuff to do in Roots.
Yeah.
Night 2 is no joke.
Yeah.
It's, Kunta he tries to escape for that 3rd time, and some stuff. I won't tell the audience, but some stuff goes wrong, and he winds up, at the plantation and where he meets Noah, and then he teaches Noah. Noah gets the idea to escape with Kunta. So a whole bunch of series of things happen.
I know the story of Noah.
Dude, yeah. So you know a little bit about it,
Yeah.
but this was rough to do. But here's the thing about it. It's like, I think if you don't look honestly at where you've been, it's very hard to know clearly where you're going.
Talk about that.
Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
That history doesn't just repeat itself, but it does rhyme.
Yeah.
Right? So you have to be aware. Suddenly you go, wait a minute, you mean the former slave-owning states are the same states that are trying to repeal our right to vote? What's that about?
Yeah.
Those former slave states. Do you know what I mean? And when you look at the relationship, Paul Robeson says something. He says, you have to be very careful. The oppressors, the best oppressors, leave behind the churches and the schools to socialize the oppressed to the oppressor's point of view. So if you're Native American, and we have a Native American in the movie, and I was talking to him, he said, man, when I went to school, they would give us a history book and say, who discovered America? And we'd say, well, my people were here. They say, no, you get an F. Columbus discovered America.
Yeah.
So you had to learn the history they want you to learn. That's why it's so important for us to see the real history. And this Roots, baby, it's
That's
real.
the real history.
You're going to see Africa and everything. So history doesn't just repeat itself, but it does rhyme. So once you understand that, like Paul Robeson said, if you buy into the culture and the mentality of a people that would buy and sell you as a people, what have you become? When you adopt their values, their traditions, their gods, their rituals, what have you become? You got to really look at that. And that's, I think, so important for us to be able to do is say, wow, this didn't come from us. This did. And really be able to analyze it and say, okay.
But why is that important? Because, often we suffer from this in music culture, especially hip-hop culture, where we don't pay homage to those who came before us and the struggles and, that they went through, the later bricks, so that the Drakes and the Kendricks and the whoever, the futures can benefit from today. And so when you go to talk about history or you show it in a miniseries like Roots, people tend, man, they still talking about the past. Wow, man, why are we still talking about this? It's 2016.
Right.
So why do you think that is important? And I'm going to ask you that too, Mandela, why you think it's important that this story is told.
Well, for me, I think like racism is right around the corner from sexism. And sexism is down the street from classism. And classism is right next door to the wholesale destruction of nature. We're getting in a mess now. Dr. King said it very clearly. We either now learn to live together as brothers and sisters in harmony or we perish as fools. And I add to that, we now have to learn to live together as brothers and sisters in harmony and get right with Mother Nature, or we perish together as fools. It's not just enough that black and white and straight and gay hold hands. We got to get it right and get right with nature. And the original people knew how to get right with nature. The original Africans, the original Native Americans, the original Eskimos, they knew how to be right with nature. We got to get with that and apply our modern technology to that, or we won't survive. I just did this speech at Columbia, and I told the kids graduating, I said, since I graduated from Columbia University, we've lost over 52% of the world's wildlife.
Yeah.
So we adopted a mentality that's killing up the planet.
Yeah.
And it starts with killing up race, killing up over gender, killing up over otherizing folks.
Yeah.
So until you really look and understand where it comes from, you can't get rid of it. It's like if Mandela can't look at me and say, well, I like this about my dad, but I don't like that. And I like this about my mom, but I don't like that. Then he can't do a real he can't really be analytical about himself and say, how do I move forward so I'm not blaming mom and dad? How do I move forward so I'm not acting reflexively but consciously?
Okay.
What do you think, son?
All right. Well, you know why I ask you, because you're a relatively young man. You are a young man, and a lot of kids who have benefited. In your case, you come from a family of royalty in Hollywood that have broken down a lot of barriers and doors, and you've been privileged a little bit more than your average kid. And I find, I got a child who's going to go to private school, Campbell Hall. I'm sure y'all, all that. And she got accepted to a 4-year institution. She may not have had all the experiences as someone who grew up in a low-income household, but she has traveled out and did things and done charity and the whole nine. But I find, not in her, maybe not in you, but a lot of kids don't have any connection to our heritage and our past. Yeah. Do you find that? And how was it for you even playing this role?
I think it's very important to retell this and to tell it in a way that it's believable and historically correct. When you have textbooks, things we're supposed to be learning from, where they're renaming slavery and calling it unpaid workers.
Is that what they call it now in the textbooks?
They
wild.
They are coming out with textbooks that are whitewashing the history. And you know what? That's one thing, but slavery's been around for a while. It's not. You think of slavery, for some reason we think of black people, but everyone's been a chance to be a slave. White people, Chinese people, and our definition of slavery is different. When we were in Africa, and there's a village that gets conquered, you could work your way out of slavery. Your kids weren't automatically slaves.
Right.
So the different definitions that the white people had of slavery and black people and different cultures, all of that stuff is not the same. And for people don't know the history, and you hear stuff about, you guys chose to be slaves, or just we were shooting roots, we were in Baton Rouge, and we were just hearing crazy, crazy stuff. We really need people to understand the actual history and understand how it's affecting us today, because there's so many parallels of. I don't want to get into
but tell them what you said about when the dude asked you about how do you, knowing your history now, knowing that we did our 23andMe, we now realize we're from West Africa. We're from West Africa. Okay. Knowing your history, how do you honor the character? How do you honor your ancestors? You had a great answer to that.
Honestly, I played Noah in Roots, so that's a young guy who has this desire to learn and become educated. I can't try not to give away too much. He's not allowed. It's illegal for him to become educated. Yeah. It's illegal for him to know his actual history.
Because that's the truth.
Exactly.
It was illegal for slaves to be educated.
Exactly. Yeah. So I think the best way I honor my ancestors and Noah and people who came before me is, I just graduated from LMU. Okay. I've traveled. I want to learn histories, not only of me, not only of my West African heritage, but all over. We really come from all over. That's what the DNA test told us. Right. It's not just for us. That's for everybody. Yeah. It's full circle. Full circle. So being a global citizen, being just someone who can be dropped in anywhere and not make a splash, just get along with anyone and that.
And that's what's in here. It's so important. It's like what Mandela's basically saying, which I love, is that that Noah, who he played, would be proud of the Mandela he has become.
Yes. Okay.
That's deep. That's what's key. And the other thing, we varied it up in my house. So we sent him to public school. We put him in a yoga camp one summer and a military camp the next summer. Because you had to be you have to know, you have to travel, you have to see it. Even socioeconomically, you got to break it up. If your kid just at the private school, they're not going to get a real taste on life. Right. It's when you suddenly go to that public school, you go, oh, wow. That's why we wrote We the Party. Yeah. Right? Yeah. So we broke it up consciously. So when he was in South Africa tutoring, after his name, Mandela, you got to be over there. It was his first time where they were like, they had isms over there. They're like, they didn't even consider him black.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah. So I did volunteer work in South Africa, and we partnered up with peers from South Africa. And I just, got off the bus. I was like, oh, you don't have a partner, I'll be your partner. And then a couple lighter skinned guys came over to me and were like, no, you don't be his partner, he's black. But I'm black. What do you mean? No, you colored.
You
You're
are
colored.
not black.
Like, what do you mean I'm not black?
Look, DB
You are not black.
See, he goes through the same thing.
Yeah, it was crazy. We got to get over that, man.
That's
Ain't none of us are getting a cab going uptown any quicker than anybody else.
Wait, they
and
said-
if you're on the roof when Hurricane Katrina hits, we all gonna be waving flags. Just understand that doesn't matter how you look at yourself.
Yeah.
Right.
We are visible minorities. We're people of color.
Yeah.
And we got to get over all that silly stuff.
But this was in Africa.
This was in Africa.
So
This is what I'm saying.
the African said you're not black.
Not black enough.
Yeah, I was I guess considered under the apartheid regime colored.
Yeah.
Instead of black.
What did the so-called black ones think of you?
I mean, I was totally caught off guard. man.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, they found out your name.
Right. Too black my whole life.
Then they
and
found
I'm
out
not black
this is
enough.
Brother Medieval.
Right.
You know what I mean? It was.
We screwed up, man. We got a lot of fixing to do.
We got some fixing to do.
We got
But
some
even
fixing to do.
even in terms with our sisters with our hair,
Yeah.
when our sisters are going to be okay with our beautiful hair.
Yes.
Do you know what I mean? And that's why you'll see in night 2 of Roots, I did it. In the wedding sequence with Forrest Whitaker and Kunta, you see our beauty like you don't get to see it anywhere else.
Yeah.
It's natural, it's beautiful, it's all of who we are.
Uh-huh.
We were told that we had to cover, our women had to cover their hair when in the master's house. It was illegal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The Native American in the movie told me that his people, Native American, could not even speak their own language. It was made illegal. It was just decriminalized in 1978. So up until
Wow,
1978,
until
our
78,
red brothers couldn't even use their own language or religion. Do you know what I mean?
Wow.
So when you watch this show, you're gonna learn a whole different history. I didn't know when Jafuri was a big city. They spoke multiple language. Kunta wanted to be a scholar. You're gonna see night 1. I mean, woo! This is a whole different. It's the retelling of Roots, but it's historically more accurate. This is
Historically
like
more accurate, more
It's like a feature
cinematic.
film. Oh man,
It's
Yeah.
believable. You can get behind this and watch it and really just be transformed into another world.
yeah.
And it's based off of Alex Haley and the journey of his family,
Yeah,
right?
it's the same journey. It's the same,
Same
journey,
journey
but it's
from-
told with more research. Because when Alex Haley went back, he then found
some
more,
other things.
more information. Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing, man. Tracy?
I love listening to you too because Mario, it's crazy. When I listen to your son Mandela, he's so clearly a reflection of you. And it just had me thinking about, we always say the history that's told in our schools is inaccurate. And you going into detail about how you wanted to make sure that you are nurturing a multifaceted human being. And that obviously has been proven of Mandela right here. So can you talk about, with the nurturing, like how you made sure that he understood the history? Like on Sundays, did you guys have family time where you just sat down with him, Because you spoke about how he went to yoga camp, but then there was military camp to balance that dichotomy. What was it? What was the plan of action?
Well, part of it is, like he knows that, I'm not a materialistic cat. So that really frees you up. I mean, I have one car. It's a hybrid. I bought it used.
Okay.
I'm that guy. I have no bling. I've never been a slave to materialism.
I think you wore the same hoodie last time.
There you go.
Was here.
And I got 2 on a discount and gave one to him.
Okay, all right. Yeah. Okay.
So when you're not in this to make bling, then you can be about the good work. And once you're about the good work, you can say, okay. And the other thing is, the secret is this: if you're loved at home, if your family loves you, whether they think you're flavor of the month or whether they're not, then all that other recognition stuff is just extra. That's cool.
Yeah.
And there's a difference between being recognized and being appreciated. Do you know what I mean? They'll recognize Monica Lewinsky.
Yeah.
But they'll appreciate Harry Belafonte. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. There's a difference. So one of the things that I said to him is it's about education and travel. You can't necessarily teach your kids heart, but if they travel, and even in the United States, like I said, take them to that military camp, put them at school in the hood, then go to school. It's like Kipling said, talk with the crowds nor lose your virtue. Walk with the kings nor lose the common touch. If neither loving friends nor foes can hurt you, if all men count with you but none too much. If you can fill the unforgiving minute with 60 seconds of distance run, yours is the world and everything in it, and which is more, you'll be a man, my son. So I gave him that Kipling poem, like my dad
you gave him Kipling?
Yeah.
Love
when my
that.
dad gave me New Jack City, when I did New Jack City, I said, Dad, what's the advice? He said 2 pieces: early to bed, early to rise, work like hell, and
Advertise.
And then he said, and Kipling, read you some Kipling.
And read you some Kipling, and then you read the Kipling and pass that.
Pass that on to him.
You gonna pass down what? What you gonna pass? J. Cole to your son? Maybe? What are you gonna?
Some vines.
Some vines. Okay.
This one really changed me as a man.
That's funny, man. All right.
And having a sense of humor.
Yeah.
Laugh
Yeah.
at it. People
Yeah.
that laugh. You know, one of the things they said, people that live to be over 100 have three things in common. First, sense of humor. Second, they're self-employed often. And third, some exercise. And they interviewed this one old sister, said, what's the best thing about being 108? She was a 108-year-old black lady. She said, honey, no damn peer pressure. So live your life now.
Right.
Like there's no damn peer pressure.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's great.
Tell the people you love that you love them. Laugh with people. Know that we've all made mistakes. You know what I mean? And figure out a way to move onward and upward. That's what
Mario
I did.
Van Peebles, ladies and gentlemen, and his son Mandela. They're both here. Memorial Day on the History Channel, which is one of my favorite channels. They're going to be airing over 4 consecutive nights at 9 p.m. beginning Monday, May 30th. This is going to be Roots, man. This is going to be probably one of the most powerful pieces you've seen on TV in a long time. Mario Van Peebles, while we have you here, man, we have to find out. You talked about being loved at home. I want to see how much you actually love yourself. And we have this game we do called
Knowledge of self.
Knowledge is. All right, let's do that.
Who you are and what you do.
Pop quiz, hot shot. It's now time for knowledge of self. On Sway in the morning.
You don't know shit.
All right, explain to them the rules of
This
this.
is how
DB.
it works. Pulled a couple clips from
do
movies.
I have a lifeline?
You can ask your son.
Your son,
Since you got him here.
Okay.
Pulled a couple clips from movies that you starred in.
Okay.
And I'll give you a hint. One of them is not New Jack City.
Okay.
All right?
Okay, cool.
So, we're going to play the clips, and you have to guess what movie it was.
All
Ready?
right,
Number
cool.
1.
That's what this is about. Power.
The streets. We're going to take back the streets. That was me in my early incarnation of Donald Trump.
Yeah.
We're going to take back our country. We're going to endorse the NRA and get there and do it. Boy, I was NRA. I was the poster boy for the NRA. I had more guns than...
Yeah.
Oh,
you was a cold dude.
No,
Exterminator 2.
Exterminator 2. Wow, that's pretty good. No, nice sound. Okay.
Clip number 2.
You guys are cool and macho and pretty everything, all right?
Damn. It sounded like my voice. Ooh.
Yeah.
You guys are
cool and macho and pretty everything.
Don't tell
all
me
right?
it's rapping hood.
Yep.
Oh, man, why y'all? I thought y'all liked me, man. I thought y'all liked me, man.
That's his favorite.
All right,
movie.
all right.
No, man.
Tell them the answer, BB.
The answer was rapping. You got it right.
Oh,
Number
man.
3.
was great, man. Big strides for hip
I
hop.
take the temperature reading.
What was that?
Play it again.
I study the motor systems. I take the temperature reading.
All right. I just did USS Indianapolis with Nick Cage, and we had, that's the worst shark attack in history. And I referred back to my time as a Bahamian scientist in a movie called Jaws the Revenge.
Jaws,
When I said, no, the brother got to survive because the shark don't like spicy dark meat. So
Yes.
I got to survive. And
Your ass got eaten, too.
I got eaten. But then they did another one where I got to survive. So
Damn, you
that's Jaws the
remember.
Revenge.
Okay.
I
Doing
remember
good.
that.
3 on 3.
Good. Three.
You might be the first
What
five.
about my early porn? You got any of that? I was very brief.
Didn't dig that deep.
Okay.
Number 4.
That's a
Ain't a
joke.
good book, any other book I got problems with. That's how folks interpret it.
Posse.
Yeah, you got
that.
you threw a dab. Mandela dab told it too. You saw that, right?
All right, he's got one more, and you might be the first champ.
They were unarmed and non-aggressive, therefore the directive was overridden.
That was easy.
They were unarmed and.
Uh-oh.
Mandela, help me out.
To me, that sounded like solo pop.
Shit.
Yes.
5 for 5.
Thank you.
Yo, you're the first.
Really?
Yeah, first 5 for 5.
Wow. Wow.
You don't have anything to give you, but congratulations.
I'll take a hug from her.
Yeah, okay, there you go. Get a hug from Tracy. See, there go that Van Peebles curse right there. You see how it works? You almost pulled you in, Tracy. Be careful.
Keeping my
Be
feet
careful.
on the ground.
All right, man. Congratulations on being able to do such great work throughout your career and continued success, and continue to do great work as you have, and passing it down to your son. So,
Thank you.
I really like your son, man. You a cool dude, bro.
Thanks, man. I like you too.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it, man. If we see each other without the mics and cameras, I'm still gonna hug you and give you love. All right.
Sounds good.
And I'm gonna watch you too.
Yeah,
all right,
all right, brother.
I'm Uncle Sway, man. You give that you all right?
That's right. It takes a village.
It takes a village, right? It takes a village, man.
Yeah,
so
we need to love our kids more, man. We need that.
Absolutely, man. Don't forget to watch Roots on the History Channel on May 30th, Monday, 4 nights straight. It's gonna be incredible. Watch it with your family.
Yeah.
Watch it with your kids.
Yes.
You know, learn about this story. This is an American story. You know, this is a part of American history. So, and it's factual. So be sure that you watch that. We want to also thank Jesse Williams. You know him from Grey's Anatomy, but he also executive produced the new documentary that's appearing 8 p.m. Thursday on BET. It's called Stay Awoke, the Black Lives Matter movement. And he's going to go inside of the creation of Black Lives Matter and where it's gone, where it is, and where it's headed to. Mm-hmm. And then we want to thank DJ Parlay for coming by as well.
Yeah.
And
Sylvia Obell, too, from BuzzFeed. She's a pop culture writer over there for joining us for Celebrity Wire.
Okay. And Mo Pete, Morris Peterson, NBA player. We just did our charity Hoop for Water down in Flint this past weekend. So to everybody that came out, Snoop, the mayor of Flint, Mo Pete, all of us that were there, man, we got to keep this conversation going about Flint.
Oh, yeah.
Because your city could be the next Flint. You have no idea of knowing. All right. And so tomorrow I'll have the B&B back.
Also, Nappy Roots.
Nappy Roots. That's what I'm at. Okay, I was missing Nappy Roots for coming by. Love Chain is their new single. Tomorrow we got Robert Glasper coming by tomorrow.
Fire.
All right. T.I. is coming by tomorrow.
Double fire.
Cisco Leon, comedian, will be here.
T.I.'s in Roots, too.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, T.I.'s in Roots, too, man.
So that's
Look at the connection.
Yeah.
That's actually why he's coming by to talk.
Yeah.
You know, so
in fact, I directed T.I. in Boss, too.
Oh, give him a question real quick so I can play it back. Okay, good one, though. Challenge him.
Damn.
Also, Anika Noni Rose is coming tomorrow morning, and she's also in it.
Well,
yeah,
she's
in
in
fact,
Roots, too.
I worked with Anika on something with Ava DuVernay. Oh, you got to play him something from Boss with T.I. Do that question thing with him.
Okay.
Stump him with that one.
Okay. Oh, you're talking about the knowledge of self?
Knowledge of self.
Okay.
Yeah,
but give him a good question, like a real thespian question.
All right. Let's see.
Who did he play on Roots? He played Chicken?
No, I forget his character's name.
Hold on, let me find out.
Yeah. He's got a good... Yeah, he's one of them. He's okay, ask him... Cyrus. Yeah. Ask him, was it an expensive part?
Was it an expensive
Was it an expensive part? Because he loses his arm. So it cost him an arm and a leg. So you can make a little joke on that.
Okay.
Ask him that.
Okay.
All right, cool.
All right,
but I don't want them to hear what happens in Roots. I don't want to give it away.
Okay, cool. I'm going to leave that part in the question. I'm going to play your question back, and I'm going to leave you whispering. All right? Okay. All right, Tracy, how can they reach you if they want to talk with you?
Twitter, Instagram, It's Tracy G, ITSTRACYG. Also Snapchat, It's Tracy G Snaps, and She'sBeautyandTheBeast.com.
DB.
Hit me up on Twitter, Instagram. It's really DB.
Okay, great. Mario, how can they hit you on social media?
Yeah, Mandela, how do they hit me on social media?
I don't know for you, but they could follow me at Mandela Van Peebles on Instagram. And we got to get
Twitter.
that.
I'm Twitter. Mario Van Peebles.
Mario. He's got a Twitter.
I'm verified. It's me.
Yeah.
Verified?
Yeah.
And Mandela Van on Snapchat.
Yeah.
Okay. Hit up Mandela, man. I'm at real.
Don't hit me up.
No, I'm just joking. I'm joking. Hit up Mario too, man. Get a role in the movie.
There you go. That's how you do it.
I'm at Real Sway on Twitter, Instagram, and Sway Calloway on Snapchat, live video, and what am I missing here? Facebook. But we're looking for new subscribers for the YouTube channel. So the 1 millionth subscriber, we're going to fly you and a guest to New York, feature you on the show. I'm going to put you in a hotel and give you $100 per diem money so you can eat. I threw that part in there, make it more appetizing. All right,
We're at 936 right now.
Okay, so we about 64,000 more, and then we'll be selecting somebody, and that shouldn't take no time at all. Till tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen, we have nothing left to say.
It's Sway in the morning, only on Shea 45.